at the size of that thing. It's been burned, but it's still alive.
Are those little tiny
Maybe, where are we?
Sequoia National Park.
Yeah, so we're about to head up to the Sequoia Museum right now. And so we're on the forest path. We had to camp for some parking. There goes a little butterfly.
Those pink flowers are gorgeous.
Yeah, looks very pretty. But yeah, there's clearly been some fires here that kind of ravaged part of the land. But a lot of them look like they may have survived. Yeah, look at these pretty pink flowers here.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Very pretty. But yeah, really feels like you're on top of the world out here. Look at these little lizards. This is little Liz. They're very pretty and gigantic. Yeah. They're huge. Oh, we're at like, 6,500 feet, and yeah, there's definitely been some fires. Got the moths on this side of the trees. Find your way around. But 6,500 feet, it's wild how we went from kind of like in a desert to suddenly just lush super forest. Wow. Look at the size of these ones. Holy moly. There's the beautiful wife. Also, holy moly. It's beautiful. There's like a stream creek that runs through here. I just saw some fish a moment ago. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe we can find a fish. Let's see. Although when I've peeked over, I've scared them, and then you have to wait a second for them to come back out. But it's kind of like a little paradise on top of a mountain. I'm taking a video. Oh, it's beautiful.
Majesty.
Yeah, that's so cool how there's just like a natural clearing with the swamp, kind of like a river stream and stuff, and then the trees surrounding. Beautiful day. Beautiful day.
Mom, look at one. No, look how big the tree is. Just to give you a perspective. I think all the way in there. Yeah, Alex is all the way in.
Yeah, it looks like there's a way inside this one. It's two trees together that have like almost fused. Yeah, in a second. Whoa, little guy, sorry. Didn't mean to scare you, Chippy. Hello, Chippy. Oh, the camera's not gonna be able to see his eyes. Little chirp. He's like, ah. In we go. I'm going in. All right, stand out of the way. Oh, I can barely fit in here. Ah, if it burned out from the fires, what happened? Interesting. We are inside of a redwood tree. Or two redwood trees, I guess. I'm sure there's lots of little critters that love this thing, so you gotta squeeze back out here. I'm getting too big. This is a tight fit. And so this is all skunkweed here. This reminds me of my childhood when I'd go run around in the forest in Washington. Basically, I almost got stuck in a swamp like this, not realizing that this plant means that the soil is extremely wet and it's kind of like a quicksandy mud. But then these things all kind of smell like skunks, so they're skunk cabbage, and they'll end up like flowering too. Like, let's see, what is this one? I don't recognize. This almost looks like a pumpkin plant or some sort of squash. I don't know. Oh, some redwood pine cones. Yeah. But summer, we're in spring, I guess, and yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful trail.
Yep. Put them on the rock there. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, like on the.
I like how just peaceful it is out here. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the stream. One of the probably either a spring or glacial runoff from the mountaintops. And then that feeds all this, and then there's a lake down below all this that we ended up driving by as well. But it's very just peaceful. Definitely feel very small here, which is a cool feeling. It's beautiful. I need my backyard like this. Just VR some days gonna be able to make it feel like you can be anywhere like this and just sit here, and that's gonna be a really cool experience to have. Probably sometime in the next 10 years they'll be able to really get something like this nice. And I know other companies have things like it right now, but it's not quite like really being here, smelling it, feeling it. Like it really has a strong forest smell. Like the air is just very fresh. Even though we're at high altitude, it just feels like there's just a lot of oxygen up here. It's interesting. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful.
Should I go there and take a picture?
No, I mean,
More banana?
you gotta wonder. It makes me wonder how big their root network is. I wonder if it goes for miles or what it does, because these things got to be pulling some serious nutrients. But I'd imagine with a tree this big that their roots would be also gigantic relative to a normal tree. But I'm gonna look it up after this now that I've never thought about it before. So there's these spots on the trail that are kind of fascinating, because you notice around the redwoods and things like that, there's only small brush that can sustain life around it, because as soon as something like this sprouts up right here, it seems to need some distance around it. And so I wonder if these will even ever actually survive, or they're one bad season away from dying, because when if times were to get hard, I think that the root base of the larger trees would win out, most likely. So it's interesting to see like the gaps in the large trees, because it means others have tried but likely failed. Like the base of this one, it has like, 15 meters around it in all directions with not a single other tree. And then, there's that one right there, but otherwise this big boy right here is dominating the hydration. And we're just still on the outer ring, so so majestic, beautiful. Well, ain't this a suspicious plant right here? Looks mighty close to something I recognize. I wouldn't mind being a park ranger. Continuing on the path, almost done with the loop now. Yeah, there's water right here to our left. There's a stream. This whole like field meadow right here is swampland. There's water running throughout. I doubt my microphone can pick it up, but jeez. Just into darkness, the canopy's so thick. This one's really cool because it almost looks like they fused together, but it is two gigantic redwoods. Man, but the base, like wow. Here we've got a named tree, Clara Barton tree. And this one's a big boy too. Or maybe it's a girl, because it's named Clara. And it's interesting to see the other trees, like just the absolute insane scale of this thing. It is so freaking massive. It is so freaking huge. And this ain't even General Sherman. This is just, probably a medium-sized one or a large, but not an extra large or a super. And it's interesting to see the other trees. Like normally you'd be like, oh, that's a pretty big tree, or that seems like a pretty big tree right there, But then when you compare it and then you look back and you're like, oh, big trees, then it's like, da-dum. Like, what the fuck? More streams, runoff. Let's see, hopefully I didn't scare any of the fish. Usually when I creep up on these ponds, everything runs. They're like, oh, we're gonna get eaten. Apparently you can find the odd mountain king snake here too, but that would be probably so incredibly rare. So I don't have my hopes up, but if I do see a snake, I'm gonna catch it. Okay, we got another stream right here. I'm gonna creep up slowly. I don't see anything yet. So now we're kind of off the beaten path. Haven't seen anyone in a while. You know, if these videos end up in, you know, some sort of Blair Witch project, you know, it means we never made it back and got eaten. You know, it is bear country, as they say, so we'll see if we can find one. So we're going to Sunset Rock right now, is the trail we're on, so not sure what we're looking for, but we'll eventually find it. Okay, the wife's getting a little bit scared now. She's a little scared and she wants to turn back, but we love the danger.
No, we don't.
But she does not. Pippi, this is a sanctioned hiking trail. We are totally fine.
I don't see any signs.
We might even find a bear. Feels like you're on top of the world up here. This is apparently at the top of Beetle Rock, so. Too far, but this is cool enough. So it's like just wow. And I guess pollution and stuff like that, but we were over there in that part, and so now we're up on these just gigantic rocks. Man, it's cool. What do you think, baby? Time to go see General Sherman? Yeah, we need some water. We might die.
No.
All right. Headed to General Sherman Tree over there. Walking down the path towards the General Sherman Tree, the crown event out here. The largest tree by volume, not the tallest, but a thick boy. So.
Okay,
All right, the world's largest tree. Bam, there it is. Huge.
Take a picture of us.
Take a video of the chipmunk.
Oh, cool. Did you see it?
He's right here.
There he is.
Wow. Trees are so big. It's like normal trees. Like, okay, and then giant trees, normal trees, gigantic trees. Kind of a magical grove because the Sherman tree is here. Oh, wow. We just finished the hike back up the hill, half a mile from General Sherman, so I am sweating pretty good. I don't know how the wife is doing, but yeah, half a mile downhill, and then all that footage, and then just went back up half a mile. So back at the car parking lot and this whole area. So taking a quick breather, and then that may be it for Sequoia National Park.